Hey folks, I'm Jody White and I'm joined at Lake Eufaula by Jason Lambert. He's fresh off a top 10 finish at the Rayovac on Kentucky Lake. And Jason, you're one of our foremost offshore guys. Have you been looking this whole time? Have you even made a cast?
Well, we've made a lot of casts this week. This is not your typical Tennessee river ledge fishing. This tournament will be one offshore, but it's not the kind of fishing that we're accustomed to on TVA. It'll be one off of brush piles, more than likely. You know, we have seen a couple of big schools, but there's only a couple of big schools. And you know, you turn those garments on and you can ride for hours and hours and hours. And I know how to read them, and they're not there. I mean, it's just,
okay.
These fish are a lot shallower. You don't have the 20, 18, 19, 20 foot ledges here like you do at home, so they're hard to see. But you got to fish for them. You can't really look for them.
So let's, I guess, assume that most people have found those big schools and that they probably get picked through and sold around the top ledge guys. Is that reasonable to assume?
The funny thing is, this afternoon, we found a school this afternoon at probably 2 o'clock. And coming up a river ledge, I'll over it, see it, turn around, catch a couple of them, and mess with a few baits to see what they bite. Idle on up the ledge, within 15 minutes, there's 4 boats fished that spot. So what is out there that you can see, a lot of guys have found. So this tournament will be one on the fish that you can't see, that you got to fish for.
All right, and now those fish, they're a little shallower, they're in brush. How many brush piles do you think you need to win this thing?
You can't have too many, but there's so many in this lake, you can just be fishing down a ledge and you come to a point, you're going to see 5 or 6 on every point. These guys around here live and die by the brush, and they put a lot of it in the water. There's a lot of it out here. It's going to be a real grind. I mean, the weights I expect to be really, really low. A couple guys are going to crush them, they always do, but it's not going to be what we saw at the Rayovac last week, where you catch 80 fish in a day. If you catch 80 fish in a week, out here it's been a good week. All
right. Now, I guess the other thing is sort of baits-wise. We on the TVA, you know, the Rayovac, everybody saw, you know, a lot of big swim baits, the mega spoons, you know, all kinds of like real big shad imitating type baits. But that's got to be kind of tricky to throw around brush. Is it more of a worm Carolina rig jig deal, or?
Yeah, you'll see a lot of soaking this week. You'll see a lot of jig fishing, a lot of worm fishing. You'll see a whole lot of that stuff. Of course, the Carolina rig is kind of hard to fish in the brush too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they will bite the swim bait and stuff here. I mean, Randy won on it the last time here. But those places that he had to himself last year, everybody's fishing this time. I mean, just here in Kowicki, you go out and there's 30 boats fishing between here and the river. So it's going to fish really, really small, and it's just going to be a grind. I mean, it's going to be really hard to catch 5.
All right. Well, Jason, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have the best of luck out there grinding.
Hey, thanks, man.